Hey, you guys, welcome back to another episode of the StarRoom podcast. It's your boy Axel, and today with me I have
Robin. Let's get it.
Yep, you know him. He's already a regular guest by now. I think we're gonna go ahead and start off with the traditional Arnold question.
Oh, yes, sir. Let's get it.
Okay,
So
so
what Arnold got for us today?
Arnold's question this week: if you were to have a pet dinosaur,
I like this question already.
what dinosaur would it be? I think I have my answer.
A Stegosaurus.
Stegosaurus. Why? Why Stegosaurus?
My favorite dinosaur.
Why?
I don't know. I just think they are cool. No other reason. You know, you could have like a, what are they called? The long neck dinosaurs, a Brachiosaurus.
Yeah.
Those would be cool for like a slide or, you know.
Like like the intro for Fairly Odd Parents where
Oh, he's going down.
he slides down it.
Or you have like a pterodactyl fly around.
That's
But nah, I just want a Stegosaurus. I think they're cool. I like them.
Okay. Because I was gonna say like mine would have been a pterodactyl, so I can fly places, or be like
A pterodactyl.
or be like the guy from Jurassic World and have pet raptors. You know what I mean?
Raptors would be kind of
live
cool.
amongst the raptors. They were cool. And then the one that he had, blue, smart creature. My
Just to
dinosaur.
fly around.
Yeah, just to fly around, bro. They're cool too. They're cool. They're all big.
They got that long beak.
Beak.
Yes, sir.
Tell that judge he won't eat my pee like pterodactyl.
Nice.
Hard
Bars.
bars. But why Stegosaurus? That was,
Stegosaurus?
a Stegosaurus was not in my mind when I thought of
Bro,
this
it's a
question.
Stegosaurus. What you mean?
Yeah, but you know
Have you seen a Stegosaurus?
I have seen or not in real life, but I've seen
Yeah,
pictures
exactly.
of the Stegosaurus.
I've seen one in real life.
No, you
and
haven't.
they're crazy, bro.
No, you haven't.
Have you heard?
You know? Oh, go ahead.
Okay. So, you know, we have these sounds of like what we think dinosaurs
Mhm.
are. But have you heard like what their actual sounds?
Yeah, I've heard I heard what like scientists recreated like what a T-Rex actually sounds like.
Those things are terrifying. Like if I heard that, I'd be
It sounds scary, bro. Like it sounds like a horror game.
yeah, it sounds like an eldritch god is like being summoned or something.
Have you heard elephants roar?
Yeah,
They sound like like dinosaurs, bro. Like what you would think a dinosaur sounds like.
I think that's crazy. Like you imagine them and you don't think they make these kind of noises and then they do.
They do, bro. And
you
it's always
just,
it's always the most passive animals, dude, that sound like scary or like have some crazy
Sounds
unnerving fact about them or something.
like foxes.
It's like a plot twist, you know what I'm saying?
Like foxes, they be screeching. You don't expect that from them.
Or like mountain lions. Mountain lions sound like a screaming woman.
What?
Yeah.
Nah, that's
Terrifying, right?
that would be scary. That's like some skinwalker type stuff.
Yeah,
there.
that's why you don't go and like if you're in the mountains and you hear a woman crying for help, you don't go look for it. It's most of the time it's a mountain lion.
Nah, that's
But have you
terrifying.
heard? Because you said you saw a Stegosaurus in real life. In I think it was in China. I think
They had a Stegosaurus in China.
no, but I think it was either China or Japan. I'm thinking it's China though.
Oh, where they're starting to resurrect the dinosaurs?
No,
Well,
Stop-
you haven't
stop-
seen that?
stop guessing. Just let me tell you.
Well, I'm not guessing. I'm telling you.
They apparently it was this year. Apparently, supposedly they had a what's it called, an expedition. It was like 15 people to an island, and apparently they found two brand new species of dinosaurs.
What?
Yeah, and four of the people from the expedition retracted their statements, and they ended up dead or something. Like they found them dead.
Oh, snap.
But yeah, I don't know what they look like. I didn't see. This is all I heard is that there's an island near China that has dinosaurs.
You know, the government always be killing them.
Hiding them, bro.
I think stuff like that's kind of crazy when you think about it. You ever think about the way they could kill them? They could be like simple things.
Imagine-
But like, have you ever heard of like all the gruesome deaths or like torture methods, just all the crazy things that humans have done to other humans in the past.
Oh yeah, like there's like all these like the torture devices that they make and stuff. Like, have you heard of the iron bull?
The brazen bull.
Is this a brazen bull? It's like a cast iron bull,
They put them in there
and they like
cook them.
cook them alive, and they have a horn in it, so the
When they
screams
scream.
sounds like the bull's like roaring or something.
Yeah,
Bro,
that has to be one of the
insane.
most brutal ones.
But people like throughout history, people have done shit like that, and there's like most of the people that create stuff always regret it. It's like the guy from Oppenheimer, like
Oppenheimer.
yeah, like
He became the destroyer of worlds.
he's the destroyer of world, or I am death itself, something like he said something. What was the quote? Look it up for me, please.
I got you.
I need the exact quote.
I think it was
I
Death
have
himself,
I have
or,
I
the
have
destroyer of worlds.
I have become death, the destroyer of world, something like that.
Let's find out. Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
Yeah, see, now I am become death, the destroyer of
That's some
worlds.
good English.
Yeah, so it's just like that. You know what I mean? People go through history creating stuff to end other people's lives, and for the most part, they regret it
Unless they're crazy.
unless they're fucking insane.
Unless they're crazy. We do got a lot of psychopaths out there.
We do.
It's sad to say.
Oh, do you have more torture methods?
I do.
What other torture methods you got?
You know, on top of like something normal like the brazen bull.
Normal.
Look, I mean, it's a familiar method, I guess. It's a popular method.
Popular is crazy.
With the Romans, they were doing some crazy stuff. But they got like some Viking methods like the, I think it's called the spread eagle.
Excuse me?
So basically, they hang you up
Mm-hmm.
and they'll pull your ribs from your back
Ooh.
and make them into like wings.
Oh my god.
And obviously you die eventually. But the whole point is you look like an eagle.
Oh, it looks like you have wings because of your ribs. That one kind of, it's not the same thing, but it kind of reminded me of this one that pirates would do. They would tie your arms and legs to ropes, right, and throw you overboard. But like they were basically playing tug of war with your body. Like one end would pull you one way, and the other side of the ship would pull you the other way, right? And you would just go along the bottom of the boat. And since the bottom of the boat was full of like barnacles and stuff like that, it would just shred your skin off, and basically like a
It's
cheese
like
grater, dude.
cheese grater.
And they pulled you up, and most people just died from that, like while they were still on the rope. But if you survived, like infection and stuff would kill you. But if you survived all that, you paid for your crime.
Like that's it.
That's it. Like they'll like, even if you're missing an eye, a leg, whatever, disfigured, all that, you get to live. Nah, you paid for your crime.
At that point, would you want to live though?
Exactly. It just fucks you up.
You know, another one that I heard, pretty similar to the one that you just said, is they'll throw you overboard, but instead of playing like tug of war with you, they'll just like leave you there. So they'll go from one point A to point B.
And they'll just drag you along the
Yeah. So
with the
like
ship.
while you're going, obviously you're like basically getting waterboarded or just borderline drowning on top
snap.
of hitting, you know, all these rocks and stuff that they have to pass through.
Or imagine like a shark comes in
Oh,
the
a shark, it's just easy. It's game.
That's crazy, bro. People are insane. But also that's like punishment. Oh, I saw a video. I don't know where it was. I think it was somewhere in South America, maybe like Brazil or something. But what they did to these thieves, right? There was a punishment that they gave thieves. Basically, they made the thieves hold their hands out and like put them over each other like this, and then, like they just held them out and they just shot their hands.
What?
So like
They would just
There'll
have
be
a bullet in their hand.
holes straight through their hands, and their fingers will all be broken and stuff, and so they won't steal no more.
See, I thought you were gonna say that they just chop off their hand because that was another popular way of dealing
Chopping
with
them off
thieves.
too, but just shooting them, dude, breaking your fingers and all that.
I think that's more painful than chopping them off.
And it was two people that I saw them do it to, and they kind of just walked it off like, yeah, I deserve this.
I guess some people just learn to live with it. Like,
I didn't see the aftermath. I don't know if but like,
I don't think I could walk that off. Nah.
I'd be screaming like,
I'd probably pass out.
my hands,
I couldn't do that, man.
That's scary, bro. Imagine.
Would you live like? Let's say you couldn't get a prosthetic arm or something. Would you live without like a limb?
I think I could live without a limb. Like a whole arm, like to the shoulder.
Like let's say you just don't have an arm. Like yeah, you could live with it, but would you want to? Like, would you?
I think if it was my left arm, I think I could. I don't really do nothing with my left arm.
I think I'm on the contrary.
Like, yes, I'm holding this mic with my left arm, but I write with my right hand. I use my phone with my right hand. I could hold this with my right hand if I wanted to. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
but even if you don't have a limb, like you'll still feel it there.
the ghost limb
Like
effect.
the phantom limb. Yeah, you'll still have that.
I think I would want to experience that.
I think I would want to, like, even if I couldn't get like buy a prosthetic, I think I'd try to make one at least. 3D printing's a thing.
Well, that's the whole thing. You can't make one. You can't buy. Like you just can't have an arm again.
Because if I lost a leg, like say I lost like my left leg from like my knee down, right, and I still had this nub, I would try to make a little peg leg.
No peg leg.
Yeah, be a pirate for real.
Have a hook arm or a hook hand.
Something, you know what I mean? Because I've seen a lot of people like on TikTok and stuff where they'll be amputees and they'll 3D print stuff, and some guy had made a Lego hand.
A Lego hand.
And
dude,
then
that's crazy.
So he started 3D printing like a Lego mug, and the comments were like 3D print a Lego lightsaber and stuff like that.
So he can clip onto his
Yeah,
hand.
dude. Like I think that'd be sick.
I guess it would be.
Unfortunate,
some cool stuff.
I wouldn't choose to be like that, right? But
they're making the light out of their situation.
yeah, exactly.
I think that's cool. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with your prosthetics, especially as the technology advances.
Yeah, especially in the future, dude. Imagine just becoming the Winter Soldier.
Bucky, dude.
Yeah,
That's
dude,
crazy.
with a metal arm and stuff. That'd be sick.
Or like,
Especially-
you just open up your fingertip and it's a lighter.
Especially if it gets to that level, he has a whole metal arm, but he can move it like a regular arm. You know what I mean? That's super detailed and stuff.
Like Jax from Mortal Kombat,
Oh yeah, like that too.
where it's even stronger than our own hands.
That's why he can box, bro. Have you heard of the Titanic theory?
The Titanic theory?
Yeah, that the actual Titanic ship never sank.
No, I haven't.
So the theory goes, the Titanic was never hit by an iceberg. The owner of the Titanic, J.P. Morgan, owned two ships. He owned the Titanic, which was like brand new, and that's why everybody was excited to go on it, go on the cruise and stuff. The Olympic was a older ship. It was all rusty and like worn down and all that. So what he did was have the Olympic painted like the Titanic, painted over the name and all that.
So it would be like a replica.
Yeah, and that's the one that he sent out to sea, right? And he knew if it sank, he would get a lot of money from like the insurance and all that. So they're saying the Titanic never sank. It was the Olympic that sank. But it goes deeper than that. J.P. Morgan had a lot of his like competitors set on that cruise, and all of his competitors like they all died on the cruise. Like they never, none of them survived.
So
So
like
he
a
took
planned assassination.
Yeah, and J.P. Morgan was supposed to be on that cruise too, but literally like a few minutes before it took off, he canceled his trip. So he wasn't on the boat. Like he knew it was gonna sink.
Nah, that is some sketchy
It's
stuff right there.
suspicious, bro. It's suspicious for sure.
But if the boat was painted like the Titanic, does that mean they painted over like, let's say, the name as well?
Yeah, they painted over the name and all that, and then they painted the real Titanic like the Olympic.
Oh, okay. See, that would make more sense because I would say like, you have these tours, like the
Oh, the submarine one that went down there.
right. So wouldn't they be able to just go check? But if he painted like over the name, like everything,
Yeah, he painted over everything.
then there would be no way to tell.
Yeah, and they weren't the exact same, but they were like
Pretty much the same.
Yeah, basically the same ship. They were like twins almost. The Titanic was just, I think, a little bigger, I think. But yeah, no. But mentioning that the submarine tour that went down there.
The Ocean Gate.
Yeah, dude. I don't think. First of all, R.I.P. to the people that were on there. Okay. First of
No
all,
disrespect. However,
they were literally controlling that thing with a Logitech game controller, dude.
hey man,
And there was no windows on it, on that thing. So like,
it was just empty.
there was one window, but it's like a little ass porthole that you can't see anything out of. You know what I mean? What they were seeing of the Titanic was on a little screen. Dude, there's already videos of the Titanic.
There's no point then.
Like, there's already videos of the Titanic down there. Like, you don't have to pay $1 million to go see it
On a video.
And it was like a little screen too, because it's a small. Come on now, like
Come on.
I don't know.
They're passing it around like an iPhone camera.
There was a lot of things wrong with that. You know who Bob Ross is?
The painter?
Yes, famous
Okay.
painter, right?
I like where this is going. I like Bob Ross.
Have you heard? I'm about to ruin him for you.
Oh no.
Have you heard of the Bob Ross theory?
They just got theories over everything now, don't
Yeah,
they?
yeah, they do.
Okay.
So, before Bob Ross was a painter, he was in the military.
Right.
He was like not a general, but he was kind of up there. You know what I mean? And then he retired and then started painting and all that on TV. And you know how he's always like, we don't make mistakes. We just make happy little accidents, right?
Yeah.
So, he has a painting called Happy Little Accidents.
Okay.
And the theory behind it is that painting, because all he paints are landscapes, right?
Yeah.
That painting is the exact landscape of where 5 bodies were found.
See,
So
well, was the painting painted after or before?
before they were found.
Okay.
So the theory is Bob Ross is a serial killer, and his paintings are just locations of where he left the bodies. And there's clues that lead to other ones. Because some paintings look like they're connected too. Like, there's paintings where he'll have trails and stuff. And, like, you can, like, if you keep going, like paintings look similar enough that the trail continues into the next painting, right? And it's, like, leading to a house, like a cabin in the woods or stuff like that. So the theory is that he's out here. Because I think there was another painting of, like, a tree that this another body was found.
It just so happens that he was painting.
He was painting the locations and leaving them as clues of where he hid his bodies.
Being in the military, I guess, like that PTSD.
The PTSD, right? Like, because they said in the military he was super aggressive, and because I think he was a drill sergeant, I think. So you know how they yell, scream, and stuff. But how does Bob Ross talk when he's painting?
He's all peaceful.
He's quiet,
soft.
happy. He'll have little animals with him. Like, everything's just a happy little accident. But I don't think those paintings were happy little accidents.
And what if the way he killed them was by beating them? As he says, you got to beat the devil.
You got to beat the devil out the paintbrush.
Yeah.
I don't know how. It's all just a theory, right? It's just a fun little theory, but
it's definitely possible how people make these connections with these theories.
It's kind of scary because it's like, oh, like, the thing is, it's like it's always people you wouldn't expect type shit.
Bob Ross, I wouldn't
expect, bro. Shout out Bob Ross, R.I.P. Bob Ross.
Oh well, I don't know if he's a murderer. I don't know about that.
I don't think he is. I think it's just coincidence because whenever he paints them, he paints everything on the spot, right? Like you see him paint it. Like he's just like, let's add some trees.
Unless he has photographic
memory of like everything. I don't think so because his paintings are. His paintings are amazing, but they're very generic too. They're just a generic landscape. I think it's just
coincidental, like auto-generated.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like AI generation.
But
could coincidentally make Will Smith or something.
Yeah, Like I don't know if have you seen videos where it's like reply if I accidentally drew you, and there'll be like an artist that did a bunch of sketches of faces and they kind of look similar
Yeah,
to people like that.
it could just be like that, but with landscapes.
Mm-hmm.
That makes
Because
sense.
your brain can't generate a face, like a random face.
No, it
Like
would have to be someone you've seen, or like you have to put two faces
like
together.
you'll put like features of one face, eyes of one face, nose of one face, mouth of one face, and like generate it together. But
You can't just.
you can't just imagine a random. You've seen it somewhere before, where there'd be on like a poster in real life, day to day, on like TV shows, the internet, whatever. Like it'll generate that face.
That's weird to think about.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna drop a little spooky urban legend on you real quick.
Some spooky knowledge.
A little urban legend. It's the dancing devil of San Antonio.
Of San Antonio.
Yeah. So
Okay.
so this story has happened in other locations of the U.S. and Mexico and stuff. This one's based off of the one in San Antonio, but I think all the legends, like all the stories, have like this is it happens like the exact same story happens in these other places. Like it's happened in McAllen, Texas. It's happened in Dallas, Texas. It's happened in New Mexico. Like it's a reoccurring story, but they all happened in the 70s. Like different years in the 70s.
So it was traveling around.
Yeah. So basically, this one is specifically San Antonio. On Halloween, 1975, they said a handsome man dressed in all white came into the El Camaroncito nightclub, right? And this man, he was talented. Like he knew how to dance. He was dancing his heart out. You feel me? And he was impressing all the ladies there. He was smooth talking to them. He was dancing with them.
He had it like that.
Yeah, he was raising them up. You know what I'm saying? Talking to all the ladies and all that. But eventually, this is where it takes a turn, right?
This is where it gets spooky.
Yeah. So one of his dance partners, when they were dancing together, looked down at his feet and saw his shoes turn into the clawed chicken feet.
Clawed chicken feet.
Yeah, so like the three toes, big claws. And some of the witnesses there, some say they saw the chicken feet. Some people say they saw hooves. You know, it depends on the story, on like the location of the story or whatever. Obviously, she screamed, cried out, tried to run from the man, right? Regardless of chicken feet, hoof feet, everybody agreed that they were in
the devil.
they were in the presence of Satan himself. So in that moment, he ran to the restroom, supposedly, right, and escaped through a window. And as he was leaving, left like a puff of smoke and like a sulfuric smell in the air, right? But this nightclub eventually closed down. They tried changing it at first, you know, they tried remodeling it or whatever. Eventually it closed down. But they claim that the smell of sulfur still lingers in that location.
Just that general area.
And that like where that building used to be, it just smells like sulfur.
That's weird.
And like I said, this happened in multiple other places.
So if it happened in multiple different places, does that mean that sulfur smells in multiple different places?
Maybe. I don't know about the other locations, but this one specifically for San Antonio. But they had other clubs in the 70s where the devil would visit and dance with people until he was caught.
That's kind of weird.
It's crazy that it happened in different places of the South. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's just the locations I saw were like Texas, New Mexico, Mexico.
Down
like,
south.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't see any for like New York or anywhere else, nor like farther up or whatever.
But it's so weird to think about because, you know, you think of the devil as this big bad man. He's just out here dancing. You know?
It's a creepy story though. Imagine you're dancing with somebody and then at the end of the night it just turns out that they were the devil.
Dancing with the devil, literally.
Literally. It's kind of like
that'd be kind of cool though.
It's kind of like the show Lucifer. How he like owns a nightclub or whatever.
He's just a normal
guy, but he owns a nightclub and he just so happens to be the devil. Do you have a album of the year?
An album of the year?
Yeah. Or like your favorite album that dropped this year?
Ah, man, I don't know.
Because I have a few. I have a couple.
I think I might, but I can't say for sure since it's like dropped somewhat recently.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be kind of like biased to judge since it's new. And
The
I'm like,
recency bias.
yeah.
Go ahead, drop it. It might be your album of the year.
So I recently got into K-pop,
Okay.
and a member of BTS, his name is Jungkook. He released his solo album before heading to the military.
Oh yeah, I
For
saw
his-
something like that. Like, cause they all have to.
Yeah, Koreans have their like required military enlistment for like 6 months or something.
Yeah, yeah.
So he dropped his album, and even if you don't like K-pop, his entire album's in English, so you don't have to worry about that. And it's all like, well, it's just pop, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like you get some Bruno Mars vibes off these songs, maybe some Michael Jackson in there.
Okay.
So recently, that album
It's been on repeat for you.
has been on repeat for me. I
Okay.
think my favorite song for the year would also come off that album.
Damn, bro.
Like
And when did this album drop?
maybe a month, 2 ago.
A month or two ago. Dang.
It dropped pretty recently.
I think the one I like dropped pretty recently too.
It's called Golden, by the way.
Golden by Jungkook.
Yes, sir.
Y'all check that out. I wouldn't say my favorite, but the one that I've enjoyed the most so far, even though it's dropped pretty recently also. And then You Pray For Me, West Side Gun.
Mm.
That man. The one with JID, Mama's Prime Time, hard.
Would you say it's like a 10 out of 10 album, no skips?
I don't know if it's a 10 out of 10, but it's up there, man.
It's up there. There's maybe like 1 or 2 skips,
Yeah, maybe. I would have to go back and listen to it the whole way through to make sure, but
but still an
'Cause I-
A-tier
because
album.
I've had a couple songs from that album on just repeat for the most part, but the rest of the album is really good too. And then can't forget like the biggest album of this year, Utopia,
Oh, right.
Travis Scott.
Yeah.
Pretty good album too. Fucking amazing
It was-
album.
It's got some bangers on
Um,
there for sure.
I'm trying to think of what else dropped this year. I know Drake dropped his album. I wasn't the biggest fan. I liked a
There's
couple
some
songs,
on
but
there.
First Person Shooter with J.
That-
Cole, hard,
Beat switch in the middle of the song.
hard.
That was a good song.
Trying to think of what else, man. I feel like I'm missing a few. I don't want to snub nobody.
Oh, well, there's definitely been a lot, but I also can't remember off the top of my head what's been dropped and what hasn't.
But I'm just gonna say those two for now. Utopia and
And then You Pray For Me.
and then You Pray For Me. Two favorites this year so far. With that being said, we're gonna go ahead and close out this episode. Thank you guys so much for listening. It's been your boy Axel.
And Robin.
And yeah, make sure to check us out on Spotify, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all that. Share it with your friends. If you have any questions, DM us, send them in. And that's gonna be it for this week. We appreciate y'all. Y'all be safe. Peace.
Take care.